Speaking with Jonathan Williams, President and Chief Economist of the American Legislative Exchange Council, or ALEC. We're speaking with him about the latest rich states, poor states rankings. Jonathan, I want to pivot for a minute and talk about the national budget here, specifically how it affects Missouri. Our senior senator, Josh Hawley, said in no uncertain terms that he will not vote for a budget that includes Medicaid cuts in any way. One of the proposals the administration is throwing out to save in reigning costs is the provider tax, which helps pay for Medicaid in many states, including Missouri. As you know, Missouri has enshrined in its state constitution that has that Medicaid enshrined in it. How difficult could this be for Missouri if there are cuts in that provider tax?
Well, I think, we have to maybe take a step back and think about this long term. There are several big drivers why we have $36 trillion plus in national debt. Now, the interest costs on our national debt are over $1 trillion this year, which is more than the entire Department of Defense and our military readiness across the globe. So it's an absolute terrifying amount of money that we have now racked up on the national credit card. We've got a huge problem overspending generally. So thank God for Elon Musk and Donald Trump and DOGE in the ways that they're looking at cutting waste out of the federal government apparatus. But Medicaid expansion, Obamacare, and all of those pieces of that, that was a major driver of our major budget problems, not to mention the unfunded liabilities in those programs that rack up the debt way far beyond what we see in the $36 trillion number. So I think if we as a country are going to get serious about really addressing this issue that is now bleeding over into, I believe, national security concerns, we must address some of the big drivers of the debt. So in that case, I maybe have a slight difference of opinion with the senator there in terms of let's make sure that if we're going to fund Medicaid, we fund what Medicaid was supposed to fund, and that is people that are really, truly needy, not the expansion population that, unfortunately, Missouri and some other states expanded that Obamacare, as we know, around the legislature. A lot of the big special interests came in and did that. But that's what it does is it dilutes the Medicaid funding from the truly needy and now covers working-age males who are able-bodied. So there's something very wrong about that. If we're going to have a robust Medicaid program that's really a social safety net, we need to focus on funding that well and really taking a hard look at folks that should be in the workforce otherwise. Because at the end of the day, Chris, this isn't just about saving dollars. When people are in the workforce, that's actually a virtuous piece that many Americans are missing out on, of that shared success and earned success that my good friend Arthur Brooks talks about a lot. And that that is something that is good and virtuous for people to be earning a productive living in the workforce. And to have all these government programs and incentivizing them to move in the wrong direction, I think was a big mistake that states and the federal government made in many cases.